guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Right.
If you're interested in finding the hardest corner route to defend in the game and then throwing it over and over and over again, this video is not for you. This video is going to take a deeper dive and show you how to learn principles that will make you better at Madden today and for years to come. Many people do not realize the depth of the game and how things actually work from a programming standpoint. So in this HuddleGG tip of the week, we're going to take a simple topic like how to beat cover 3 and look at each zone on the field and show you how to attack them with concepts that you can use in any offensive playbook that you choose. To understand how cover 3 works, we need to start with the basics. There are two coverage settings in the game. One is called default and the other is called match. Teaching all the differences between the two would be its own masterclass in itself. So rather than do that in this video, we're going to go and start by showing you 5 different route combinations that beat both coverage settings the exact same way so anyone that is watching this video can benefit. Then at the end of the video, we're going to highlight more route combinations that just work on the match setting. This way we can show those that play competitive head-to-head games how to use and combine route combinations together to ensure you always have easy wide open throws away from the user defender. The first concept we're going to teach is how to move the free safety. The free safety's radar is from the middle of the numbers to the middle of the numbers. When you attack with 2 streaks in that radar, you're going to see that he's going to shade to one side and leave a lot of room to the opposite side for you to attack in the seam. Attacking with a delayed or slower route will be an easy way to get big yards. Here we're going to show you how changing one of those routes to leave the free safety's radar will change his responsibility. No longer does he have to go ahead and split himself between 2 streaks going down the field. It's going to be between a streak on the left and a route on the right, so he's going to split the difference. So the key is to make sure that 2 streaks stay inside his vision to make sure that he moves in the direction you want him to open up the area you want to attack. If you don't have one of those special tight end routes in your playbook, you can easily put the running back on a streak and change the tight end's route to something that breaks to the inside to put the user in conflict and achieve the same results. So for this next concept, we'll be attacking the hook curl defender on the left side of the field, and we'll be doing this with a deep in and pivot concept from a doubles alignment. The doubles alignment is where there are only 2 receivers on one side of the field. One is to the outside of the numbers and the other one is in the slot position. Make sure that outside receiver has deep in that goes at least 12 yards down the field from the line of scrimmage. The pivot route is going to pull the hook zone on his side along with the curl flat defender, and that's going to open up a nice throw right after the break where the wide receiver is going to be able to catch that over the linebacker level and have some easy yards. Sometimes you can find these routes in trips formations. So if you follow the principles and move over the middle receiver to make that doubles alignment, you can achieve the same results by attacking the hook curl defender, and once he commits down, it's going to leave that area behind him for the easy throw. Now for this third concept, we're going to go ahead and take a simple 2 route combination and steal easy yards to the short side of the field, in which we are going to attack the curl flat defender. All you got to do is make sure that the outside player runs a 10 to 12 yard out route and the player that is next to him on a streak. In both default and match coverage settings, the curl flat defender is programmed to chuck his wide receiver to make sure that he is unable to get a free release down the seam. When he does that, he's unable to recover to the sidelines in order to defend that out route, and we're going to be able to have a simple throw on that sideline. If your opponent changes their zone depths on that curl flat defender, he's going to no longer perform that chuck, and he's going to allow for an easy throw as that slot receiver is going to have that streak right in that seam. Just go ahead and pass lead it to the inside, and you're going to have a successful play. So you're basically reading the interaction between the slot receiver and the cornerback to determine if you're going to throw it to the out route or the slot for the same amount of yardage. So for this next concept, we're going to go ahead and attack the curl flat defender again on the short side of the field. This time we're going to want the slot wide receiver to have a specific route that does not have any vertical stem to it, but starts off on an angle. What this is going to do is it's going to move the curl flat defender a couple yards inside as he has to shuffle to get his chuck on his man, and it allows us to attack on a quick throw to the sidelines. So the best route combination to do this is to get the running back involved and put him on a wheel route and then motion him to the line of scrimmage. In this example, we're motioning him twice in order to get him to the slot receiver so he can be in the spot to get some easy yards. Make sure that the outside receiver is on a clear out route like a streak, and once you see that the slot cornerback engages with your slot receiver, you'll be easily able to throw to that running back on the wheel on a quick hitter to the outside for those easy quick yards. So let's go ahead and look at the fifth concept, and we're going to show you how we can attack the wide side of the field, both the curl flat and the outside third defender with a switch concept. With this concept, we're going to be able to use the inside release post to not only get the curl flat, but the outside third defender to back up and also pinch inside to the numbers, which is going to allow our wheel to run open and find that spot along the sidelines to be able to get that easy completion. By having a trips look and putting the inside threat on a streak, this is going to help drive back the zones a little bit further, and it gives you more room to catch this pass and avoid any of those knockout abilities. So each of those concepts we just went over is going to be able to beat not only default, which is what you're going to be playing if you play the computer, or the match setting, which you're going to play a lot of times when you play head-to-head players. We're going to focus on the rest of this video on teaching how we can have some more concepts that's going to attack the match setting, and it's going to give you an opportunity to throw away from the user for easy completions and the ability to walk down the field. So the first concept we're going to teach is how to use trips formations and attack the hook curl defender on that side. Now it's best to use formations that have a tight end as part of the trips, like you see here that's attached to the line, or as close as possible to the line in order to get the reaction that you want, so that you have that ability to go ahead and attack in the seam. All you got to do is put the number 2 receiver on a flat route, and the hook defender is going to take several steps towards the flat before opening up his hips and getting back into that strafing motion. So that movement by the hook curl is programmed in the game to help cover the strength of the offense, which is the trip side. However, with the right tight end routes, it allows for some quick throws into the seam that we can catch and still stay underneath that deep safety. The tight end routes that have those outside releases, or the ones that have those quick hitting seams, are great to use when attacking the space that is opened up. So now we're going to show you one more concept to use when attacking those hook curls, and it's going to be using empty formations or alignments. In just about every empty formation, you have one side of the formation that has 3 receiving threats, while the other will have 2. The hook curl that is on the 2 wide receiver side is always going to pinch towards the middle of the field when it's on that match coverage setting to help rotate the coverage to cover the spread out alignment a little bit better. By doing so, we have the ability to attack with quick throws in the seam where the hook curl originally started from. Now we can do this with empty formations that have a compressed alignment to start off with, because they're going to be in a really nice spot to attack that area with a quick throw. We could also do this with empty formations that start off a little bit more spread out, and then take the outside receiver of the 2 wide receiver side and motion him in, and he's going to be able to attack that spot because he's now going to be more compressed. And lastly, we can do this where you can start off with a shotgun or a under center formation. You can motion that running back to the line of scrimmage to form the alignment that we need, and then attack with the open spot on the 2 wide receiver side. So all these options are going to yield the same results. So whether you're going to go ahead and use an empty formation, or even the formation you're having a lot of success in right now, by emptying it out and making sure that there are no running backs in the backfield, you're going to be able to attack this at will against cover 3. So all these route combinations that we showed you in this video do a great job attacking the AI controlled defenders. But what if the user chooses to be on the player that we attack? What do we do from here? So that's where we're going to start combining route combinations together and understanding that we're going to attack away from the user by using the identifier ability and being able to go after the player we want to attack. So let's go ahead and take 2 concepts that we've learned today and combine them. So in this example, we're going to go and show you how we're going to attack both hook curls by combining the empty concept, where we're going to go and attack the hook curl on the 2 wide receiver side, and then using the trips concept, where we're going to move the hook curl on the 3 wide receiver side. So in this instance, if the user is on the left side of the screen hook curl, we're going to go ahead and take the middle receiver of the trip side and put him on a flat. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit that tight end in the seam because the user will not be there. Now, if the user's on the right side of the screen, where he's on that hook curl, we're going to want to attack the seam on the left side quickly, knowing that that player is going to move towards the inside. So either player that they're going to choose to user, they're going to be unable to defend us where we want to attack when they're using cover 3. So let's go ahead and take another 2 concepts and show another example so you can see how combining these can really be powerful for you. So let's go ahead and take the concept where we took the running back, put him on a wheel, and we motion him to the line of scrimmage, and that we had that slot receiver on the inside release route where his angle never went up the field, and we're going to be able to throw it to him. Now, what we're combining here is the ability to not only have that route combination, but now we're in empty, right? So if they're on the right side of the screen player, we know that we can proceed with this throw. He's never going to get it over to the left side. We're going to be able to have some easy yards. Now, if we go ahead and see that they're on the left side of the screen, what we're going to do here is know that we're going to be able to put that tight end on a streak, because we're going to be able to go ahead and hit that spot where that hook curl is now going to get pinched to the middle and have an easy throw that way. So when you go ahead and combine these, you're going to see how you're going to feel you're always ahead of your defender when it comes to cover 3. Now, these are just a handful of concepts that beat cover 3. There are a ton more that we did not share in this video. If you're interested in learning more concepts on how to beat cover 3 and every other coverage, make sure to check out the Route Combo Bible. It is a resource on our website in which we make a collection of individual videos that teach concepts just like we showed in this video. These concepts help provide the building blocks for when we make our own game plans, but also as well for anyone that wants to add play designs to their own existing schemes. This is AntCap24 and wanted to let you know that we appreciate you watching this all the way to the end and look forward to seeing you on the next HuddleGG tip of the week. If you happen to learn anything on this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to our YouTube channel as we go ahead and drop free Madden tips all year long.